Hello and welcome to today's Dragon's Daily Dose. It's Smaugonite here, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about setting myself up for a failure. I thought I would probably be able to do Dark Eldar in the evenings, however, unfortunately, I just have not been able to, and as a result, I've said to Minion, I don't know if I'll be able to do the army for our game. Now, we'll see how the evenings go. Obviously, this is Wednesday, so still got Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, and Friday evening. And it's not beyond me to wake up early on Saturday morning to try and get some last finishing bits done, touches up done. So we'll see. But in the meantime, it's then posed quite an interesting question. If I don't do Dark Eldar, what do I do? What do I use against the mech? Now, Minion has stipulated that he wasn't that fussed about Titans, playing against Titans, which is absolutely fine. He's then also said that he'd be happy to go against pretty much anything else. I then thought, well, I could go with just my Eldar. I could do this force that I'm trying to paint up. I could do that for my Eldar. I've got the models for the Eldar army, but I sort of thought, do you know what? Maybe it's time to use the Grey Knights again. The Grey Knights were a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun using them, especially towards the end when I sort of started getting the hang of the psychic powers that I'd need to cast, and actually this one's important because like force obviously is useful, but I sort of thought, well, maybe that's something to look at, but I don't know, because while it's handy to have the psychic power, the Grey Knights, I don't know, they feel like I like using them against the demon stuff. There is something that I'm working towards with the Grey Knights, and that is the Emperor's Hand Strike Force. That's one of the formations from the old Blood Oath PDF, where I think it was basically, zoom in, here we go, so it's one brother captain, one brother champion, 3 strike squads, 3 terminator squads, 2 interceptor squads, 2 purgation squads, 4 nemesis dread knights, 1 paladin squad, and 2 purifier squads. And then the restrictions are all units must have Grey Knights faction and all squads must include 10 models. But the special rules that you get. So Divine Intervention. When playing missions with Reserve Mission special rule, all units in this formation must begin the game in Deep Strike Reserve. When making reserve rolls, make a single roll for the entire formation, which you can choose to re-roll. On a successful reserve rolls, all the units from this formation arrive from reserve, which is pretty cool. And then Psychic Strike Force. As long as this formation's brother captain is still alive, all units from this formation successfully harness warp charge points on rolls of 3 when making psychic tests. Again, really good. And then Rites of Banishment. Enemy units with the Demon special rule that are within 6 inches of any unit from this formation count their invulnerable saves as being 1 point worse than normal. This is cumulative with other modifiers from the enemy's invulnerable save, and even cause the unit to lose its invulnerable save completely, which is pretty cool because all demons get a 5-up. We have found a way where I think you can get them on a 3-up, so it's quite a good formation, and it's something that's quite thematic. It's like, they're attacking the Imperial Palace, or they're attacking, a very important world of the Imperium. There is another formation in there called the Anvil of the Emperor, which I really want to do, which is 1 Battle Titan, Reaver or Warlord, and then 5 Imperial Knights. And yeah, it's a very good formation. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. I was thinking about whether or not to do the Grey Knights, in all honesty, and whether or not to actually spend some time learning the army again and getting used to it, because it's a nice army and I really like how I've done it. We'll see how I get on. But yeah, I just thought I'd give everybody a little update today, because it was supposed to be about Dark Eldar Eldar, but I hoped that I would have been further than I actually am. But family comes first, and in the evening last night we had to go up and do some bits somewhere else. So yeah, there was that. But anyway. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the old podcast episodes. So if anybody's been a fan or a listener of the show for long enough, they will know that we used to have a podcast, or we still do have a podcast on sort of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other podcasting services. However, I've made the decision, and we've talked about it, and we've made the decision to remove the podcast episodes from the podcast streaming services, and upload all of those as video files onto YouTube and have them hosted on YouTube instead. So what I will be doing is I'll be setting up a playlist on the channel where it will have all the archived podcast episodes, and I'm not going to upload them in any particular order or anything like that. I'm just going to upload them all in sort of to go live at one certain time. It'll probably be something like the end of September or something, just to give me a chance to work through them all, and then get them uploaded, and they will then be on the channel. But obviously I will talk about them when they are up there, and when they're uploaded, and I'll provide links and all that. So yeah, that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this, I actually made this yesterday. This is what will be on all of the podcast videos, just bouncing around, and I'm not going to spoil it. You'll have to watch and find out whether or not it actually goes into a corner at any point. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for today. So thank you so much for listening. A like and a subscribe is really appreciated. It helps us out more than you know. Until next time, keep those brushes moving, your armies ready, and your imagination soaring. See you tomorrow.